Perhaps you know the feeling, an ache in your shoulders that has no physical cause, an exhaustion so profound that sleep doesn't touch it, a knot in your stomach that tightens for no apparent reason. You tell yourself it's just stress or fatigue, a normal part of modern life. But what if that pain isn't a symptom? What if it's a living memory, a story that your mind has long forgotten, but your cells have held onto with perfect fidelity, silently reliving an old wound in the language of sensation? In this video, you will discover how trauma becomes encoded in our very biology, blocking our energy and shaping our reality from the inside out. More than that, you will learn how to listen to your body not as an enemy, but as the wise and loving guardian of your deepest truth, and begin to decipher the hidden codes that can finally set you free. There is a kind of pain that doesn't show up on X-rays but can take over your entire life. It doesn't just live in the mind, and it doesn't disappear with positive thinking. It settles deep into the body and keeps vibrating there until you finally learn to listen. This is silent trauma, not the kind you always remember, but the kind your body has never been allowed to forget. Ancient cultures already knew what science is now proving. The body is a living energy field where experiences are recorded as frequencies. Every part of you, your shoulders, your solar plexus, your hips, holds a layer of your history. They are not just muscles, they are living archives. That tension is not just tension, it is a protection code. What your conscious mind repressed in order to survive, your body translated into a symptom. Your outer reality is being shaped by this unprocessed emotional biology. You can repeat mantras of abundance all day, but if your nervous system is still vibrating with the frequency of "I am not safe," which reality do you think the universe will respond to? This is why so many people search for change but remain stuck. They try to heal the mind without first freeing the body. The great sage Thoth called the body the sacred mirror of the embodied soul. The ancients never made the mistake of separating body, soul, and mind. To them, the flesh was the language, and pain was a prophecy. They knew you cannot reach for the heavens if your roots in the earth, your own physical body, are compromised. This ancient knowledge was fractured and forgotten. Science went one way, spirituality another, but the truth was never divided. We were the ones who became separated from it, and that is why we feel empty even when surrounded by information. We are disconnected from the original code, but that code still pulses within you. It's in the center of your chest, at the base of your spine, in the silent contraction you've learned to call normal. Today, neuroscience confirms what the ancients knew. Cutting-edge studies show that trauma isn't in the story, it's in the body. Dr. Bessel van der Kolk revealed that the traumatized brain gets stuck in a continuous survival mode. It's like a fire alarm that keeps ringing, long after the fire has been put out. Your body is constantly flooded with stress hormones, living in a past that your conscious mind isn't even aware of. Dr. Peter Levine observed that animals in the wild, after a life-threatening event, will instinctively tremble and shake to release the traumatic energy. We humans, with our rational minds, suppress this natural release. We tell ourselves to be strong and get over it. And in doing so, we trap that survival energy inside our tissues, where it becomes a chronic symptom. And Dr. Stephen Porges, with his polyvagal theory, showed that our ability to feel safe and connected is a biological state, regulated by the vagus nerve. When trauma disrupts this nerve, we are biologically locked out of true connection and peace. As long as the body does not feel safe, it will not allow your full, vital life force energy to flow. The bridge between science and spirituality is being rebuilt. There is no real healing without presence, and presence isn't just being aware in your thoughts, it's being aware in your body. The first step on this journey isn't doing something, it's deeply feeling what you've learned to avoid. Because every point of tension is your body's attempt to protect you from something that once hurt too much. But what once protected you now imprisons you. To release it, you must first learn to listen. Let's begin the practice of listening. Find a quiet space where you can lie down or sit comfortably. Close your eyes. Choose a part of your body where you feel pain, tension, or discomfort. Technique 1. Archetypal somatic listening. Instead of treating this sensation as an enemy to be vanquished, I want you to approach it with a gentle curiosity. Like a wise, loving friend, place your awareness on it, and softly, internally, ask it, "Beloved part of me, what are you trying to show me? What story do you hold?" And then, just listen, not with your ears, but with your entire being. Don't demand answers, just observe the sensations, the subtle impulses, the blurry images that may arise. Technique 2. Vibrational naming. The body often speaks in metaphors. As you listen, allow a symbolic name to arise for the sensation. It doesn't have to be logical. It could be invisible armor, frozen river, or unspoken scream. Give it a name. Naming it is an act of profound validation. You are bringing the shadow into the light. Once a code is accessed, it can be transmuted. Technique 3. The dissolving breath. Now, bring your breath to this place. Inhale for a count of 4, and make your exhale longer. For a count of 8, the body does not release through force. It releases through safety. As you exhale, don't try to push the sensation out. Instead, imagine you are creating a gentle invitation for it to leave, like opening the door for a guest who has overstayed their welcome. With each long, slow exhale, feel the area soften, just a little. Technique 4. Archetypal body repositioning. When you feel ready, slowly stand up, close your eyes, let your body show you where it feels stuck. Notice any stiffness. Now, begin to move, but not from your mind's idea of what a stretch should be. Move as if you are being guided by an inner intelligence. It might be a tiny, almost imperceptible shift in your hips, a slow, gentle unfurling of your shoulders, a slight tilt of your head. This gentle, intuitive movement is the beginning of a profound dialogue with your body's wisdom. As you allow these small, authentic adjustments, you are literally rewriting the old stories of tension and defense held in your posture. You are teaching your body, on a cellular level, a new language of safety and freedom. But what happens when strong emotions or painful memories arise during this process? How do you meet them without becoming overwhelmed and shutting down again? That is the next crucial step in this journey of somatic liberation. As you begin this gentle, intuitive movement, you are speaking a new language to your body, a language of freedom it has longed to hear. But what happens when the body speaks back, not with subtle shifts, but with a sudden wave of emotion or a painful memory that rises to the surface? How do you meet this intensity without becoming overwhelmed and shutting down again? The key is not to analyze, but to acknowledge, declare, and release. Technique 5, the somatic declaration of release. Gently touch the part of your body that holds the most tension. It might be your stomach, your throat, or the base of your spine. Let the warmth of your hand be a sign of your loving presence. Keep your hand there and say, either out loud or silently, a soft, sincere promise. I see what you have held for me. I thank you for protecting me. And now, with love, I release you from this duty. Stay with this affirmation as you breathe for at least a minute. This is a profound ritual of vibrational return. You are giving back to the field what was never truly yours to carry. And in doing so, you reclaim your own sacred, inner space. Technique 6, intentional encoding through body archetypes. Trauma can leave what feels like energetic voids in our field. Empty spaces where vital energy no longer flows. If we only clear the pain without consciously filling that space with a new, higher frequency, the old patterns will often rush back in to fill the vacuum. So, we must consciously imprint a new energetic signature. Choose an archetype that represents what you wish to embody: courage, confidence, sensual presence, deep peace. Now, ask yourself, where does this archetype live in my body? For some, courage is a lion's heart in the chest. For others, confidence is the solid pillar in the solar plexus. Presence might live in the fluid grace of the hips. Find your body's home for this new energy. Touch that point with your hands. Close your eyes and breathe into it, as if you are feeding this new energy with your very life force. Visualize that area lighting up, gaining strength and vibrational density. You are reprogramming your posture, your magnetism, and your frequency of attraction. Technique 7, the vibrational closing ritual. At the end of your practice, sit in silence. Place your hands at the center of your chest. Take one deep, final breath and say, I close the cycle of defense. I activate the cycle of presence. This final step is like placing a seal on a sacred letter. It tells your entire biological and energetic system that the old chapter is closed and a new one has begun. You are no longer just healing symptoms. You are reclaiming your body as the sacred ground of your creative power. Let me tell you a story. Liam's life was, by all accounts, fine, no major traumas he could recall, and yet he lived with a low-grade hum of anxiety, a feeling of being a stranger in his own skin. He slept 8 hours but woke up exhausted. Above all, he feared silence. One day, during a guided practice, the instructor said, touch where it hurts, and just stay there. Liam hesitantly placed his hand on his stomach. It was just a familiar discomfort, he thought, but as he stayed with it, something broke open inside. It wasn't a thought that arose, but an image, clear as day, his 8-year-old self, standing in a hallway, swallowing a storm of tears so his mother wouldn't have to worry. Swallowing his fear, his anger, everything left unsaid. He realized in that moment his stomach wasn't sick. It was a library of undigested sorrow. He didn't cry, he trembled. A deep, primal shaking ran through his entire body, like an animal finally coming back to life after being frozen in fear. Liam understood then. Trauma wasn't just what happened. It was what he had to put on hold in order to survive. From that day forward, he began to listen, not with his mind, but with his skin, with his breath, and the more he listened, the lighter his body became, and the clearer his reality grew, because he was no longer trying to escape. He was finally present within himself. This is where many people give up. They close their eyes and feel nothing. They try to listen, but only hear silence, and they think, this isn't working for me. But please, hear this. What feels like a block is actually a sign of your body's profound intelligence. It is not ignoring you. It is protecting you. For years, it was taught to be silent, to numb itself, to swallow its tears. And now, as you approach it with a new, loving intention, it hesitates, whispering, is it truly safe to feel now? Can I trust you? Your work is not to force the door open, but to sit patiently and lovingly outside of it, letting your consistent, gentle presence be the proof that it can finally trust you again. Healing doesn't come from performance or intense sensations. It comes from presence. Stay in the quiet, even when it feels like nothing is happening, because it's in that space of patient presence that the body begins to trust. And the first signs of release, a tingle, a shiver, a sudden emotion, begin to emerge. This is the turning point, when you no longer demand that your body respond, but instead honor it as the living sanctuary of your reconnection with what is real. Your body was never the obstacle. It was always the way home. It has been trying to speak to you your entire life, not with words, but with racing heartbeats and silent tightness. It doesn't want your discipline or your fixing. It wants your presence. It wants you to come back home, because everything you seek, clarity, peace, connection, begins the moment your consciousness finally agrees to live fully inside your own skin. Today, you have accessed something few dare to face, the truth that your reality is shaped not by what you think, but by what you feel. Stall and silently ignore. Every discomfort is a call for reconnection. As the philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche wrote, there is more wisdom in your body than in your deepest philosophy. You don't need to understand everything. You only need the courage to feel what you never allowed yourself to touch. Because true transformation doesn't happen in the mind. It happens the moment you decide to fully live inside yourself, not as someone surviving the past, but as someone manifesting with their whole body the reality they have finally chosen to inhabit. If this journey into the body's wisdom touched something deep within you, then you have found your tribe, I invite you to subscribe and join our community of somatic explorers. This is a space where we learn to listen, not just with our minds, but with our whole being. To seal this practice today, share a powerful declaration in the comments below. I am coming home to my body. This simple phrase is a vibrational signal that activates your conscious reconnection. Share this video with someone who needs to remember that their body holds a wisdom their mind alone cannot reach.